I'll show you the impacts the strongest cold front of the season so far will have on our area. Your forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas starts right now.
This is Meteo Mundo.
Friends, welcome back indeed. Rusty here at Meteo Mundo. We're your home for Caribbean weather, and it is great to see you on Wednesday. Hope you're doing well. Hope midweek is treating you kindly. Hey, coming up in this video, hope the weather has been treating you kindly, but for some, we've had some more impactful weather today. We'll look at that. Then I'll show you a strong cold front coming in. We'll look at the timing. Got your island by island rainfall forecast as we push to the weekend as well. As always, I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comment section below where you're viewing from, what the weather has been like. Want to again introduce you to one of the sponsors here at Meteo Mundo, and that is the Lean Law Firm out of Florida. They're your hometown homeowners insurance lawyers representing homeowners, condo owners, and associations throughout all of Florida. Whether it be hurricanes, hail, wind, tornadoes, flood, burst pipe, auto accidents, anything that can cause injury to you or damage to your property, the Lean Law Firm will be there to assist you throughout the insurance claim. They'll walk you through the claims process from start to finish, offering free consultations and policy reviews. All you have to do is reach out to them at the information you see on the screen, 407-502-0053. or leanonmelaw.com. Let's get into the forecast. These are your temperatures right now in Fahrenheit. It's been a pretty beautiful day throughout most of our area. I'm going to switch over to the visible satellite imagery here. Of course, we lose it a little bit early this time of the year, but you can clearly see a couple of interesting features. First of all, a little burst of energy coming through the eastern Caribbean. It's kind of skirting the southern sides of the U.S. Virgin Islands. It rolled through portions of the Lesser Antilles. Cloud coverage kind of associated with a cold front from northeast to southwest right through portions of the Dominican Republic and Haiti and Turks and Caicos back down into the southwest Caribbean, bringing those areas some clouds and a few showers and a few rumbles of thunder on this Wednesday afternoon. This is what it looks like on the surface imagery. That front is beginning to stall out, but again, it's pushing in some lift in the atmosphere in Hispaniola, in Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands, and then back behind it, portions of eastern Cuba, and Turks and Caicos, and all the way back down to Central America. That's the zone to see the best chance for some active weather here over the next 24 to 48 hours. Obviously, our cold front has moved well into our area, and behind that, we have the northerly winds and the drier air. But there's still some cloud coverage associated even behind the front, despite the fact that we have northerly winds outside. Look at Havana right now, just 66 degrees Fahrenheit at the hour. Gonna go back over to the enhanced satellite imagery here. We'll put this into motion and talk about some spots that have seen some rain. Once again, in Central America, we continue to see a lift of moisture coming out of the Pacific, and scattered showers continue to override Panama, Costa Rica, portions of Nicaragua, and into Honduras, and that moisture will continue to lift up towards the north. Now, it is going to be encountering some drier air as it gets farther north, and you can clearly see that. Again, your green on this water vapor imagery is your moisture-laden air, the red is the drier air. So despite the fact that we actually have some cirrus, thin, high cloud coverage here in the northwest sides of the Caribbean, into the Gulf of Mexico and the western Atlantic, the air is so dry, relatively speaking. We haven't popped off a lot of rain. What's going to happen is that moisture is going to feed back into the front. You can almost kind of see that moisture plume going right back over some of the areas that I already mentioned with the opportunity for some showers. And that's what we're going to catch. Now, my friends in Jamaica haven't had a lot of rain for today at all. If you've caught a brief shower, you let me know. Again, this is the visible satellite imagery here. And temperatures have been quite pleasant. You even get to the Cayman Islands, and it's actually been a bit of a northerly wind here. You can see Grand Cayman actually has a due north wind. I noted a few scattered showers over Little Cayman and Cayman Brac earlier today, but they were very insignificant, just some light showers. You can really see that this front is producing some localized opportunity for some rain through portions of eastern Cuba, Turks and Caicos back down towards the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Now, this cloud coverage is actually pushed from kind of northwest to southeast, still favoring the northern sides of the islands for some rain, but it is getting a little bit deeper inland today than what it has been across Hispaniola. So if you caught a couple of showers in this area, even back down closer to Santo Domingo, let me know in the comments section below. We've had a beautiful day through Puerto Rico and the U.S. and British Virgin Islands. The winds have been a story once again. These are now gusts in miles an hour, so we're switching on over to that. that. I'm going to pause this real quickly here. Again, we started off with some clouds. St. Croix had some cloud coverage, and it's been a little bit clearer the farther north that you've gone. This is what it looks like at the live radar out of Puerto Rico right now. And underneath some of that cloud coverage, it's spotty light rain. But here you go. Again, not completely dry. Now, a lot of this rain on this Wednesday afternoon is actually going to be in interior locations, places like Barranquitas, on over towards San Sebastian and Ulti Alto, maybe as far west as the Mayaguez area, but today at least, the northern coastline has been a little bit drier, and you can see some of the rain that skirted places like St. Croix. Generally speaking, you go to St. Thomas, St. John, and the British Virgin Islands, it's been quieter for today. And again, we don't even have as much rain as we had yesterday and on Monday back into the eastern sides of the Dominican Republic. But is it a completely dry forecast? No, it's absolutely not. Go back over to our visible satellite imagery here. And again, I'm just going to pause this a little bit earlier in the day because we lose that visible satellite imagery so early, but you can see the fast passing showers and just some cloud coverage today for St. Martin and St. Bart's. It's been a lovely afternoon for the most part. Now, one thing that will continue to be elevated in nature, of course, is going to be surf and sea conditions. We continue to have high surf advisories. We continue to have a rip current risk throughout these spots. Dominica hit 87 degrees today, Fahrenheit. That's not bad. Barbados in at 82. You can see some thicker cloud coverage over Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia. Yes, it's spelled a spotty shower. Not a huge amount of rain, but a little bit today. Grenada, Trinidad, and Tobago have been mainly fair. We could see some evening showers and even some rain overnight in these spots, but nothing is extremely concentrated. Now, as this moisture pushes off towards the west, it will be encountering this front, kind of gets absorbed by it, but it could actually be a reinforcing push for some rain back towards Hispaniola. The ABC Islands have been mainly quiet for today. Temperatures there are in the upper 80s. One area that continues to see some very active weather is Bermuda. Behind that front, look at those cirrus clouds. Isn't that beautiful high-resolution imagery here at Meteo Mundo? Their temperature right now is just 61 degrees Fahrenheit. So you do have a lot of drier air and cooler air to the north. Our friends in the Bahamas have enjoyed a quiet day with some passing fair weather clouds. Freeport in at 70 right now. Nassau currently in at 73. Get into the forecast. Thanks for liking this video. Thank you for subscribing to Meteo Mundo. Appreciate all my friends watching here. We'd love to know, again, where you guys are viewing from. Let's see who's still watching us here in January. I know we have a lot of friends in Jamaica and the Bahamas and a lot of other areas, and I appreciate you guys dropping in. Belize always is very prominent as well, Puerto Rico. So again, just let me know in the comment section below where you guys would happen to be watching from for today. So now we're going to break down the forecast. We'll take it island by island with the rain chance in your area. Once again, we got to look at, okay, so where are we going to see moisture or lift in the atmosphere developing? And at this point in time, there's a couple of spots. The first one that I'll be watching is back down into the southwest sides of the Caribbean. Moisture actually coming up and over Panama and Costa Rica, where we continue to see not just rain, but some showers and storms skirting the coastline of Nicaragua. It's going to work its way north towards Honduras and the Bay Islands, maybe as far north as Guatemala and Belize. Now, you get towards Dangriga and even Roatan and Belize City and north, the air is just drier, and as this moisture moves up to the north, we're not going to have as much of a chance for rain. Some of this is going to try and get to the Cayman Islands and Jamaica, but we're still going to see a better chance for rain on off towards the east. So let's break down how this looks like. We'll start off with the rain. We'll take a look at the winds because, you know, this time of the year, the wind is always a big story for a couple of reasons. Obviously, cold fronts coming in, pushing the rain through our area, bringing cooler air behind it as well, but also churning up surf and sea conditions as those fronts move in. And we've got a couple of stronger cold fronts, and eventually here, as we get over about the next week, the strongest that I've seen so far this time of the year, with the biggest push of colder air as we go in about a week's time. So we'll break that down. But let's start off with the rain chances overall here the next couple of days. First of all, for our friends in the Eastern Caribbean, we're going to stay with our easterlies as we typically do. There's not a ton of moisture associated with this, but rain chances will continue to be isolated to scattered, right? There's not going to be a lot of days where we're just completely bone dry through the region. That still doesn't mean that you're going to catch rain every day, but from Trinidad and Tobago to Grenada and Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, Martinique, Dominica, Guadeloupe, St. Martin, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, and Anguilla, all the way up into the northern side of the Leeward Islands, moisture will continue to be abundant enough for passing showers. Very comfortable conditions. Your winds from time to time will actually be able to turn out of the north. You can see the front slowly sagging to the south. Notice that's the direction of what we're going to see the rain move in. Still going to favor the northern sides of the islands, but this will be a little bit more widespread. So, San Juan, about the same chance as Ponce over the next few days. And the U.S. and British Virgin Islands will see some scattered showers as well. So just keep that in mind. Still, the Dominican Republic and Haiti, one of the better chances for rain across our area in that convergence zone where that front continues to die off, especially the next couple of days. Might fall a little bit Saturday and on Sunday as well, but not bad. Now, you're going to start to struggle to get a lot of rain when you get north and west of there with the drier air. So Turks and Caicos, Bahamas, it's about a 10 to 20% chance. Now, you can see that right at the end of this, as we get into our Saturday, that's the next front coming in. And yes, late Saturday, but especially Sunday and early next week, there will be an improving rain chance here as that next front comes in. And you can see that that line of showers and maybe even a few storms holds together. So Bermuda's going to catch a lot of wind the next couple of days, and then they're also going to get back into a better rain chance starting late Saturday, but especially Sunday and into Monday. And this front that's going to be coming in is going to pull all the way into the southwest Gulf of Mexico. So eventually rain chances will begin to improve for Quintana Roo as well, Cancun and Cozumel, and the Merida areas there, Campeche. We'll see their rain chances elevate. Now, the next few days, it's still going to be around 10 to a 20% chance. And you can see that kind of in between this moisture here and that cold front, it's sporadic rain at best for Guatemala and Honduras and places like Nicaragua, scattered rain. Same situation for our friends in Jamaica. By the way, we did have some pretty rough sea conditions offshore today, which did prompt some high surf and some high sea advisories for the offshore waters south of Kingston. So fishers and mariners, please keep that in mind. Still kind of active weather there as far as that goes. But the rain chances overall will be 10 to 20% chance at best. Want you guys to enjoy what should be some absolutely gorgeous conditions outside of the showers moving through. Now, this is what it looks like when we talk about the winds, which of course, when we get into the early part of the year here, the winds just become a bigger story. They're just driving in more of the fronts, more of the changes, right? It's not, the localized systems that we see during the height of the hurricane season. So, the wind direction and the magnitude of that wind does play a bigger factor in our weather this time of the year. Let me give you an example. Bermuda is going to see a huge shift in their winds, right, out of the west as this very weak mid-level low moves through right here. Look at those winds shift back, and those are going to be 30 to 35 and even 40 mile an hour winds in Bermuda. The winds will be lighter to begin with in the Bahamas, but eventually on the back end, you're going to get more of a due north wind, and that is going to bring some cooler air. So there's a big flip in winds in just the next 72 hours across places like Freeport and Nassau, New Providence, where you could actually see two different times of northerly wind, right? You could have a north wind kind of early for your Thursday. It turns a little bit more out of the west, at least for a time, and then an even harsher north wind comes in behind the next front late Saturday into Sunday, and that's the one that I expect to really plummet the temperatures. We're still going to stay with a fairly stronger north to northwest wind that does turn a little bit, north to northeast wind that turns a little bit more out of the east eventually through places like Jamaica and Cuba and the Cayman Islands. And then the easterlies are just a little bit more persistent and prominent through the rest of the Caribbean, right? But again, this time of the year, we have a good push of north winds coming in with some cooler and drier air. Now, before I get off of this, I do just want to take this out a couple more days just to show you that the front coming in late Saturday, Sunday, and into early next week really is going to start to pull in the coldest air that we've seen. And we can see that, first of all, by some of the wind direction that we get into early next week as well. So here comes the front. into the 11th, which is Saturday, the 12th on Sunday, and you can even see again more of a northerly due north wind, and the same situation in the western Atlantic as well. So that's going to bring the changes there. So let's break down, first of all, your island by island rainfall forecast. Again, it's really spotty. I think if we're going to get a better chance for rain in the northwest Bahamas, it's going to come real late Saturday, but more than likely not even overnight until Sunday based on the timing of the next front. So ahead of it, it's very isolated for all the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos. A few scattered showers for Cuba, Cayman Islands, about a 10% chance the next couple days, 20 on Saturday. Belize City, scattered rain tomorrow, and then very isolated Friday, Saturday. And again, until the next front arrives, Cancun and Cozumel will be drier, but rain chances should begin to improve Sunday and early next week as well. Jamaica's rain chances are few and far between, many dry hours and locations. Rain chances will be much better, relatively speaking, for the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, highlighted by Wednesday's rain chance up to a 50% chance. Then as that weak front pushes through and kind of starts to wash out, rain chances should fall. And I'm sorry, let me just say this real quickly. This should say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just like this one, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I just didn't update this one, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So weekend starts to dry out in these areas. Bermuda's rain chance is higher for tomorrow on Thursday and then falls off. St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla, scattered rain, highlighted by a better chance again Friday. These are correct, and so we'll continue. Antigua, Barbuda, again, more isolated rain the next couple days. A little bit better chance on Saturday overall in these areas, including Montserrat, Guadeloupe, and Dominica and Martinique. Will be about a 30 to a 40% chance most days. It's the same situation for St. Vincent and the Grenadines and St. Lucia. Again, nothing is very concentrated, but there's just enough moisture coming in to throw some showers into the forecast. If I'm planning to be outdoors, I'm not worried about the rain, right? If I'm a boater, though, I'm keeping a very close eye on the possibility for some long period swells through portions of the islands and keeping an eye out for some hazardous sea reports in my area. Barbados, a 30% chance for tomorrow, but a little bit more isolated Friday, Saturday. Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, right around a 30% chance. Decent rain chances the next couple of days in places like Suriname and Guyana, but then falling off for the weekend. Nueva Esparta and the ABC Islands will struggle to catch a few showers over the next couple days. This is what I'm talking about. Again, this time of the year, the seas forecast just becomes a lot more important. You're looking at well into double-digit waves for the western Atlantic. This is going to continue to bring swells that are above 10 feet in height, especially to the exposed waters of the Atlantic. So my friends in the Bahamas, keep that in mind. Turks and Caicos, the northern sides of the Dominican Republic and Haiti and Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands as well. Notice that north wind will drive in some higher seas through the Lesser Antilles, right? Especially islands that are orientated more north to south could really see some long period swells closer to the shore. It will be a little bit quieter through the rest of the Caribbean, but you can see a little bit of a churned up here in the Southwest Caribbean. And again, we did have some high sea advisories for Jamaica for the offshore waters. And then the northerly winds continue to drive in some high surf and sea conditions through portions of the Gulf. It's very common this time of the year. As far as rainfall totals go, can you see what the European model is doing with that next front? Here it comes. Nice little swath of rain over Florida. Notice that a lot of the heaviest rain is actually inland, right? And you can kind of just see that scraping the Western Gulf through Mexico, back down towards portions of Central America, still highlighted with some heavier rain in Costa Rica and Panama, and then right towards portions of Belize and Guatemala. Not as much rain for the Bahamas, the Greater and the Lesser Antilles. It'll be more isolated in nature, but there will still be pockets of rain that could produce, locally 1 to 2 inches, 25 to 50 millimeters, which for this time of the year is not, horrible as far as the rainfall totals go. Let me do this real quickly here. Of course, I hit the wrong button, but that's okay. Give me just 1 second here. What I'll do is I'll move on to this graphic real quick while I load that back up, and that is to discuss how cold it's going to be. This is going to be next Friday. So not the Friday that we have coming up, but the next Friday after that. This should be the biggest push of colder air. And if you look at the legend, which is in Celsius, and I'll take myself off camera, you're going to start to see that there are a few areas here. And again, it is island dependent, especially on elevation, but we could be talking about some areas here that might be into the single digits when it comes to what we're talking about here as far as actual air temperatures. Single digits. That could be in Celsius, 8, 9 degrees Celsius, but as far as Fahrenheit, maybe 48, 49 degrees. I mean, we could be talking about some pretty darn cold air here, guys, with this next stronger front coming through. So a series pushing that in, and that's the farthest south that I've seen some of that blue make it. So for all of the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos and Cuba and Central America and Quintana Roo and Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, and especially the higher elevations, and this is typical for Hispaniola, but get prepared, even Puerto Rico. That's a pretty good brush of some colder air, as I've mentioned. All right, back over to the rainfall totals here. Got that loaded back up. Once again, you can clearly see this push of rain coming in with that feature I showed you earlier. We get a little bit more moisture to come back up here over Costa Rica and Panama. You're not seeing excessively high rainfall totals here, but you are seeing a couple of spots, 4 inches of rain over the next 5 days. That's pushing 100 millimeters. Here's another bullseye, again, that kind of tries to sneak back into the northern sides of Honduras and the coastal areas of Guatemala and Belize. So maybe near San Pedro Sula, they get 50 millimeters. There's that rain skirting the western sides of the Gulf of Mexico, and then it is more spotty through the rest of our area. But again, that colder air, and we'll reiterate once again, is going to be a story here, right? And we'll be talking about that, and ahead of it, a round of showers, and possibly a round of some storms as well. As always, friends, I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know, first of all, where you're viewing from, what the weather has been like down below. You have a specific question about the forecast, you can drop it in the comment section. I'm happy to answer that. If you would like to send me a picture or video, the easiest way to do that is mymeteomundo@gmail.com. I appreciate those who do to help tell the weather story. Just include your name, of course, where the picture or video is from. You want to give me a little description of what you saw, I appreciate that. Reminder, you can always follow us across all social media as well. We're on Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, and there is our email address one more time. And once again, I really want to thank our sponsor of the channel, Lean Law Firm. They are your hometown homeowners insurance attorneys, representing homeowners, condo owners, associations throughout all of Florida. All perils, guys, hurricane, hail, tornadoes, flood, burst pipes, anything that could impact you, cause injury or damage to your property. They will be there to assist you in your insurance claim. They'll walk you through the insurance process from start to finish, free consultations, policy reviews. All you have to do, if you're interested, is reach out to them at the number that you see, and leanonmelaw.com is their website. They have all the information to get a hold of them there. Friends, you have a great rest of your Wednesday. I'm back soon with the latest forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas, right here at Meteo Mundo.